Myself, Gualter Amarelo, and the great Vinney Smile Chopra. Vinney, you are bundled up. Where are you at today?
San Francisco Bay Area. It's cold, brother. 45 degrees. 45
Man,
degrees over here in Black Hawk, California, where I live. I love to walk, as many of our followers might know, 3 miles, 3.5 miles every day, 7 days a week. So it's a beautiful day. Vinny is bundled up.
Vinney, you're wearing the Christmas sweater, so you'd probably win a Christmas sweater contest right now. The last week, for everybody who's listening, last week we didn't do the call, and that was because of Thanksgiving. So, how
Yeah.
was your Thanksgiving, Vinney? What did you do with the family?
Oh my gosh. Best 4 days we spent. Monica and Neil, they came over. They live not too far. Monica lives only 1 hour, 5 minutes away in city, San Francisco. And Neil lives on the way, half an hour away, in Oakland, right near the Bay Bridge. So they were able to come, and we love every moment when they come and spend the night with us, because they got their place, they could go back, but they stayed with us. We went out to eat and content cook great food, for them. And it just was wonderful. And we watched a lot of good movies, some shows, in our family room. So the memories were just indispensable. I mean, that's what I say always, make the memories, because money, when you leave it behind, you don't know how that money will be spent,
That's
you
true.
know? And it's a good thing for everybody to note. Many people say, I want to leave millions, and we will leave millions and so forth. But the memories we make while we are alive are so important to capture those.
So true. So Thanksgiving, obviously, you spent 4 days with your family. I flew back to Massachusetts. I came back, and now that we're back, last week we did Wealth Principle 3, which was choose a business. I'm sorry, it was the $1 million math. It was really very simple. We told everybody the 4 types of money, which was income, it was flow, which is expenses, it was equity, and we dove into the other one, which was actual profit. So money that people
Mm-hmm.
keep. This week we're going into Wealth Principle 4. And Wealth Principle 4 is put all your eggs in one basket and guard that basket. This principle was popularized by Warren Buffett. He's actually the one who phrased it.
Yep.
But you followed this, and you've actually given this principle again. This is the second time you've done it with us. You did it last year, and you kind of went through how to not diversify. Like you're not very diversified. You are now, and that's one of the principles of being wealthy, right? Once you do become wealthy, you diversify. But in the beginning, you weren't. You were super hyper focused on one thing. How did you decide it was right to diversify, and how did you know you were in the right thing to stick to that one basket?
I'm so glad you're saying that, brother. This is very near and dear to me. And again, we should look at it. Put your all the eggs in one basket. That's one thing. The other one right next to that is safeguard that basket. Oh my God. I mean, that is the key. If anybody is able to, sorry about that, this truck is going by.
No,
But
this view is amazing. So I love I love watching the view as you talk.
okay. Oh, look at this
You
here.
you found the perfect
I
spot.
live up the road right there. That's my neighbor's house. Our house is right behind there. So just love it, brother. But yeah, let's talk about it. The key thing is what you want to put in investment or idea or business. You got to find all the ways to, do you want to be in that business? Do you want to take that idea to the next level? Because if it's a wrong one and you put so much effort, money, time, and after a year you find out, oh, I hate it. I just didn't think through the whole game plan. My eggs, I did get the eggs, but they're in the wrong basket.
Vinny, this sounds a lot like my dating life when I was younger. It actually works in everything, doesn't it? So you've
It
been married
does.
with Contra how many years now?
43. It'll be
43
44
years.
years in 2024. I'm so pleased. And we just love each other. We hug each other every morning as she comes from the bedroom. I get up at 5:30, 4:30 even. I'm on the other side of the house into doing my yogas and this and chanting and looking through my, miracle morning routine, all that, right? And drinking my latte and the whole bit. Then when she wakes up, when she comes, she speaks a little bit. And then I drop everything. I drop everything. And I just go halfway and hug her. That's the key to success of happy marriage because it's the time you spend, it's the respect you show, it's money's not everything. See, it's the happiness, it's the security, it's listening to her. I need to get better at that, but not working with that cell phone at night time and all that stuff. And which I'm getting better at it. And I'm
I
going to
get some of
like
your
big.
texts at night still, Vinny. I don't know.
I don't know. I need to stop that.
You know what?
Really.
It's a work in progress. You're getting better at it. You are
Yeah,
getting
I'm
better at
getting
it.
better.
And so you and Contra have been together 43 years, and the results of that have been multiple businesses. It's been
Yes.
two beautiful children. Your daughter actually works in your business with you. Monica
Yes.
does a lot of the RAL
He's
side of
partner.
things.
He's partner now.
She's a partner
Very
in the
good
business.
partner. Yeah.
And so that's a proof of putting all your eggs in one basket, right? You can do that in relationships.
Yes.
And in business, you went all in on real estate. Not any business and not just any type of real estate. You went all in multifamily. How did you know that was the right basket? Because obviously it's turned out very well. But how did you know that was the right basket for you to put all your eggs in?
It went to my this thing over here.
Yeah, I see the connection went off, but I hear you now. Now you're back.
Right. I'm back. I just closed this up. I don't know how it went there. But anyway, no, I got your question really quickly. You're so right. See, I'm an engineer by trade, right? I grew up to be a mechanical engineer, production systems, all that is in my blood, my DNA. And when I sold books and encyclopedias and Bibles, right, to earn money for my tuition, some people know, then it just got me into thinking, logical mind, and also in sales and reaching out people. We were having a lot of single family homes, as I say, and they were just very trying times, to take care of them. So when people told me, hey, Vinney, you can have 20 different homes in one location, 20 families living in one apartment complex, the light bulb came on, brother.
That's important because you were actually doing single families. You were doing flips, you were doing single families, doing small 2 families. And I think a lot of people say, well, I got to start at 100 units. They listen to Greg Cardone, like, I got to start at 100 units, but that's not where you started.
No, 14 units, duplex. We still own that duplex. We bought for $92,000. It's $292,000 now. By the way, I found out, but still keep it, $2,800 profit, nothing to really snicker at per month, right? But the key thing is, you're so right. Apartment complexes caught my attention. This is 15 years back, 15, 16 years back, 17 years back.
You were 54. I remember you were 54 years
old.
Yeah,
right there, brother. I just turned 71 this year and
That's right.
72 next year and all that. But the thing is, having this scalability, having to collect the rents very quickly from 20 different residents, I call it, not tenants at all. They're valued residents living in our Monil premier communities. You got to use those words. Whatever your company is, it's the premier communities where people stay. And I used to say every property has villas because British, my blood in there and all, little bit India and blood. So I just will make everything Florence Villa and this villa, Albion Villa, Terrace Villa, And then when I went to Atlanta, I put villas in the front. I said villas at this, villas at Autumn Hills, villas at this.
I love it, man. So this is kind of a mindset thing. It became a shift of perspective. You said, I like real estate. It's done well for me. I want more real estate, which means you're literally filling your basket with more eggs, more units, right? More units in the same basket.
Exactly. It's one transaction for multifamily of 20 units or 30 or 50 or 100 units as compared to 20 homes. It's
20
20 different
transactions,
loans you have to get and
20
20
credit
different
pulls.
transactions. Oh, yeah. 20
Yep.
different property management companies if they're in all over the place around USA. So scalability is amazing. You could do cost segregation on an apartment complex. It lets you save on taxes, consult your CPA and everything. It's beautiful, beautiful. And then the beauty is you are able to scale up in the same neighborhood. You get a 20 units, you look for another 25 units and 30 units and 100 units. Guess what? The brokers will really give you napkin listings, I call it, because napkin is when the sellers are just thinking about selling something. They are meeting with the brokers because they want to get it in front of millions of people, right? So that they can get a higher price. But I love to work with listing brokers only because they know the temperature of the seller. And I've closed so many deals. I've closed on 100% record in 17 years from my letter of intent to closing.
From the point of under agreement, right? Because you obviously put a lot of offers in. You send a lot of LOIs out. You send a lot of offers.
Yes.
Every time you get one accepted, you close.
I close because I have done best underwriting. I've looked at it. I've looked at the neighborhood. I've looked at the police report. I know the growth patterns. I have all the statistics. So when I give, really good rating to a property, then the price doesn't matter. The cap rate doesn't matter. The neighborhood matters. And what the property is going to have exit plan, that matters.
This is good math. So this is really interesting. You're going deeper into how you pick your baskets, right? Like how you pick the
Yeah.
eggs almost that you're putting in the basket. Because you
Yes.
gain a lot of resources as an entrepreneur over time. You've picked up all these skills. Sales when you're engineering first when you're in college, and sales later on as you grew, and then real estate as you continue to expand. So those are kind of like the eggs, right? Those skill sets that you acquire, the relationships you acquire, the capital you acquire, and you kind of put all of those into one singular focus. You
Yes.
say this almost on every podcast we do. You mentioned that you're an engineer. Like you do say that often, that your mind thinks that way. And so that's
Yeah.
been one of your biggest eggs. How did you leverage your engineering mind and put that into the basket of real estate?
I'm
I
so
think
glad
that's
you
it's
said.
just so fascinating to me that that's one of your eggs, but it always comes up.
I would like to reveal some secret right here. Vinney spent 5 years learning engineering in India and 5 year on scholarship too, by the way, merit scholarship. I didn't have to pay a penny. My government of India paid and stipend and everything. I talked about it. But the key thing was I became one and I worked with the number one company in Bombay now, and Reliance Group, Larsen Tubro. But guess what? When I came to USA, I said, you know what? I would love to combine engineering and sales. Okay, so I did MBA in sales and marketing, but I loved getting out there by selling 13 hours a day, door to door knocking. Just cut me into salesperson. Like I just closed the chapter on engineering. I took the logical mind and all the things I learned about systems in engineering, and I've been applying that for 45 years, brother, into this. Yeah.
That I love. That is a perfect explanation of how I think it's necessary to become a successful real estate investor is systems, being able to scale, systemize, use Excel to predict in the future, to build models that you can even your spreadsheet, your spreadsheet for calculating deals is absolutely insane. It's got pages on pages,
Thank
formulas and
you.
formulas.
Thank
And
you.
like that comes from having an engineering mind and being able to think out the problems and put a number to things to what seems like human error, right? Or seems like random issues. Like you're able to put a number to that because of the engineering mind. I think that that is an unfair advantage that people who are very calculated have in real estate. So that's important, right? Your skill sets are in the basket. So thank you for going deeper on that one. How can a person evaluate themselves? How can a person do self-evaluation of their eggs and decide on the basket to put them in? Like you came to a conclusion on real estate. How did you and your wife, before you started doing the single families, like how did you get into even that level of the business?
Very good point. What we were thinking, my wife and I, we are building this, getting homes and they will increase in value, would be able to refi and then use that money for our kids' education because we never take loans. I started that way also, and we never had Neil and Monica. They went to UCLA and Berkeley, didn't take no loans at all. And parents wanted to, as a obligation, we wanted to take care of that. So that's when I talked to Kanchan, my wife. We said, you know what? It's not making the kind of cash flows. I mean, these numbers look good, but at the end of the day, at the end of the year, when we are doing taxes, something came up, repairs came up, all that came up, right? So we were kind of disenchanted, to be truthful. So I wanted to go into scaling and making more money in real estate. So I looked at leasing, by the way. I looked at some broker houses. If Vinney could be a salesperson in leasing, wow, leave my motivational speaking job, which was making me a little bit money, but I had good stocks. I say that it went to 67x. My stocks, when I retired, became 67x. Not bad at all. We
Not
were
bad at all.
multi-millionaires before that. But the key thing is, I find one should look at where their interest is. You got to take time, 1 hour, take time today and write down on one clean sheet of paper, draw a line in the middle, and on the left, you say, my strengths, what I like, what I really, my dream job, my dream business on the left. And on the right side, write down my weaknesses, what I hate, what I don't want to do for sure, what industry I don't want to be in. That's it, brother. It's not hard. It's not hard. It's taking time with ourselves to find out if I'm happy right now in W2 or what I'm doing side hustle. Am I just losing sleep over it? Or am I really ready to take off in 2024?
I like that. That is so for the person who's listening right now and is thinking, okay, like, what is this principle? How do I put my eggs in one basket? That exercise, go back, watch the video again. That exercise is something that you could probably use most often, like once a month. I'd say do it once a
Yep.
month to reevaluate,
Yep.
check yourself, and do it again today, just a couple times until you get really clear about it. This is a pivotal step because once you've put all your eggs in one basket, now we're going to the second part of this principle. You got to protect it. Like once you decide real estate,
Yes.
multifamily, this market, now you've got to defend your commitment to that basket and those investments. What are some of the strategies a person can use to defend their, we'll call it their investment portfolio or even their dream when it's that tender, when it's not even investments yet?
Totally. Oh my gosh, you hit the nail on the head. That's the second part. You got to protect it, protect it, protect it. My investors' money that I raised millions of dollars, I have to protect it with insurances, the building insurance. Then we have to have the fire, the hazard insurance. We have to have directors' insurance to safeguard my team and myself. And we want to make sure that we have, uh, you know, reserves put away to protect if some things happen like what's going on right now with interest rates, increase and all that. We have to see every single thing to protect the preservation of business and capital and time. So those are the three things you got to preserve and do everything just like Warren Buffett said. And Charlie Munger, we just lost him, as many of you know. And what a great icon, what a great leader. Both of them have done so well. And, they got into great niches, into great industries when some companies needed help. They came to rescue and they were able to save them and see what Berkshire Hathaway has done. Beautiful. So protection is the main thing. You got to really put everything in order to protect the business you are in. Okay, protecting it from competition, staying with the Joneses and making sure you are understanding in marketing, in looking at the revenue streams, protecting your clientele, how to increase your clientele so that your business is growing, not stagnant, not going down. I would say one thing, one hack which has really helped me a lot in my life is what I want to do, some other person has done it. Oh, see, don't undermine the power of Google. Don't undermine the power of YouTube. I'm telling you, everybody, just listen to me. If you find anything which is bothering you, anything which is on your mind, you cannot sleep, at nighttime, it wakes you up, you put down in YouTube. You say, I want to get better at this. That's it. Oh my gosh. Then you see who are the people, the links underneath, and you find who are top people who got reviews, heavy reviews, and who are the shorter videos. Don't go for 2 hour long videos because after 2 hours, you'll be in the same situation. I like short videos.
I love that. I also don't touch 2 hour videos because I'm concerned I might not get that time back. This is fantastic. So you pointed out that to protect, use insurances, right? Insurances, a new one I've never heard of is director's insurance. I love that. I'm going to Google it after this. The other one you mentioned, property insurance. It is mortgage insurance, right? Your lender will make you do that.
Totally.
Besides the insurances, you also mentioned reserves.
Oh,
having reserve insurance.
Huge reserves for your business because things can come in your lap and you need that capital. And you should be having very good communication with your clients. See, that's the other part. The reason I'm successful because we do monthly reports, we do quarterly reports, we are giving dividends, we are just justifying our position so that I'm returning $7 million, by the way. I just sold asset Punta Gorda right in your backyard.
Punta Gorda! Congratulations, by the way.
Punta Gorda, Hampton Manor sold, brother. 42% returns to my investors.
How long did you hold it? That wasn't very long.
Just 2.5. I built it. I built it from scratch. I was under the tree, standing with my partner. We built it from ground up. We stabilized, halfway even. It could have even made more money for us, but we wanted to, retire our construction loan and everything. So we sold it and we are giving investors back 42% over 2.5 years. 2.5 years. Not bad at all. Not bad at all.
That's amazing. That's the power of syndication, putting all your eggs in one basket. You were there. You were literally there breaking ground on the site under the tree.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool to see. It's $7 million went back to the investors. And I know you get a small piece of that. The GP gets a small piece of that, but the majority of that money goes back to the investors who invested.
Exactly. 70%, 80% we give to the investors. That's the beauty of it. And
which is an example.
20% is in millions too.
Which is an example of them putting their eggs in the basket that is Vinney, right? So those investors have their funds sitting with you because it's a good investment and it's worked for them many times. The other thing you mentioned with defending the basket was you talked about sales. You talked about the importance of bringing income in. You talked about and one of the things that I've seen Warren Buffett, you mentioned them, Warren and Charlie Munger, was that they would buy these cigarette butt companies. That's what they used to call it, cigarette butt companies. And then they would, there'd be like one smoke left, but that was what they would use. And they built that up. It was because they'd go in and they'd change management, right? They would just shift the management. And that's something you've shown me many times is, shift your partners, shift the managers, and suddenly the company.
That? Oh my gosh.
You said it.
I just said it this week in my coaching classes too, because just yesterday, actually, it happened yesterday. And Stephen was there. Monica and I went to our Cape Coral property, and I'm recording this. It's live. No worries. I won't say the name, but I was so strict with my team over there, with my partner and Monica and I asked very pointed questions to give me answers why the asset was at 60% occupancy, not 70, not 80, not 100. This happened 5 months back, let's say, brothers, 5 months, no longer than that. And after third day, the leader resigned. They said, Mr. Chopra, seems like I'm not able to do my job. You're not happy with me and so forth. I said, yes, that's true. That is true. And then,
Not
hand
easy.
wrote it, and, and the manager, gave it to me and my partner, resignation. We accepted it right away.
Yep.
And then we got into Indeed and found the top notch executive director. And now it's at 100%. Hold on. What
Hold
in
on.
the heck? What in the heck? A leader, a CEO, everybody needs to really look at what I did, or I'm not good. The thing is, I'm just trying to tell you, you got to see where the organization is going. What's the interest at heart is to get the occupancy up. Why it's stagnant for last year and a half. Why all these excuses are coming in your plate. You got to look through all that and give it to them. I like you as a person, but the performance is not there. And
Yes.
everybody's hurting. The
Yeah.
investors are hurting. We are not getting more seniors into the community. So we are doing disservice to them, all that stuff. So essentially, it's so important to increase and make your business grow. That's protection.
That is guarding your basket, right? Like that right there is how you buy a company, or how you start a company, or you build a company, and then you improve it, is either increase sales, decrease expenses, get your
Yes.
insurance to protect yourself, and then make
Yeah.
sure you have the right people, because the people are assets. They might be able
Sure.
to do that for you, to make sure the insurance stays in place, to make sure the sales are coming in, to make sure the expenses are low.
Totally.
Fantastic. So we're a little over, but we started a little late, so it's okay. Uh, we're going into now the last 31 days of the year. This is the final month. This is the end of the game. People right now, they're not hitting their goals, Vinney. That there's 80% of the people out there who are not hitting their goals. 20% are always going to kill it. They're always going to do well. What piece of advice would you give to the people who are doing wonderful, so that they don't start taking it easy? They keep, aggressive, like moving what they next goals, right? And then what do you say to the people who are having a hard time believing in finishing their goal, or they realize today they haven't done enough activity and they're not going to be able to nail it? What word of advice or information would you give somebody who's just not going to make that final month?
I love it. I love it. I love it. You just reminded me about my book selling Bible days, because in the summer, our company had I Wanna Win Award. And I Wanna Win Award used to be to have the best 2 weeks of the summer at the end of 3 months. So whatever you have done in the past, whatever 2.5 months, if you look at your reports and you find out that your best month in calling was that, or best month in presentation was that, you just, first of all, find that number. And that's what I'm going to challenge everybody looking at us and watching us to look at. What was your peak month in the 11 months? Go back and then find out what was working, what was their mindset, what was their attitude, what were the marketing things you were doing, what were you really excited about? Was your the positivity at the peak, or now it's just the wrap up time? You got to build your strength to get started on new systems. If some systems are not working, you're in the 80% of the population, why not? This is the time to introspectively strategize and get yourself running. The 2024 doesn't start in January 1, 24. No, no, no. It starts today. 31 days right now. You can really change your business, your side hustle, your relative, whatever you are doing. Change it, the course. You can change the course now. A ship does not take turn in a day. Oh, well, it does, but it takes time. It takes time. And that's how our life is. We want to get better at 2020, 24. You got to pivot. You got to see what 3 things you're going to change to make it the best year ever. You
You heard
got
it
to
here.
set your goals. You got to set your goals, higher goals, doubling your income, tripling your income. How can we do it? By serving more people, by solving bigger problems. That's it.
That is the math. Serve more people, solve bigger problems. The bigger the problem you solve, the more you get paid. The more people you serve, the more often you get paid. We do this every Thursday. This is Abundance Thursdays with myself, Gualter Amarelo, the great Vinney, Chopra. Built over $1 billion under management. He's got $200 million funds. If you want to learn more about those, you can go to vinneychopra.com. And if you want to learn more about abundance and the 52 wealth principles, you can go to ibuildmillionaires.com, or you can log in with us. And for those of you who are getting a lot of value out of this, drop in the chat, drop in the comments below. What is the biggest takeaway that you've learned from Vinney from this wealth principle? Put all your eggs in one basket and guard that basket. And we will see you next Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific and 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Cheers to your success of your choice. Always work with the best.
Have a great one. Great one, guys. Crush it.